First John chapter number 3, it says, and it says, little children, let no one deceive you. The one who practices righteousness is righteous, and just as Christ is righteous. He says the one who practices sin is of the devil. He's talking about the separation between the body and the spirit here. I've explained it in a different video. We won't have enough time here. And so basically the one who's born of God, according to John chapter number 1, being the spirit man, is of God. The flesh born in this world is corrupt. So it easily follows that. He says, so we render our salvation as the spirit man leads. Okay? It's our spirit man who's saved. The body is in a process of sanctification. It has its day where it comes to salvation. Okay? So in simple terms, I've explained this verse in full context. People use it a lot to discredit people's salvation. Don't let that happen. Okay? This verse is talking about two different natures in which we are in. Okay? Because the devil, he says the one who practices is of the devil, because the devil has been sinning from the beginning, from the very start. Now if you think about it, when I became born again, who was there before? It's the body. He sins from the start. Okay? But now I'm saved. The spirit man is saved. And so now, do you see the separation? Rightly dividing. Okay? And then he says, and this is why the Son of God was revealed. Now think about why is that important? He's revealed how? In the body. To deal with what? With this sin that appears from the start. Happened in the body. Then Hebrews chapter number 2 then says something along those same ideas to show that it is not just Paul. Okay, so here we're back to Paul, but listen to how he says it, and then let's listen to the other verses. Okay, he says, and again I will put my trust in him. Once again, here I am, and the children of God has given me. Now, since the children have flesh, listen, since the children have flesh and blood, he too shared in their humanity. Do you see what I was just explaining? This is why the holiness movement gets it wrong. Because they don't make the separation between the body and the spirit. The spirit man is the one that's saved. The body has its day of salvation. Justification, sanctification, and then glorification is the day when the body receives its own. So he comes in the body. You see, so the thing that I was explaining about First John is the same thing that you see here. So here, so for this reason was the Son of Man revealed to destroy the works of the devil. So he destroys them how? By coming in the body. Okay, so in Hebrews then, it now explains that verse. Do you connect? Are you connecting now? He now takes that verse. He says, now since the children of we are in the body, since we are in the body, he now comes he comes represented in, he shares in their humanity, so that by his death in this body of humanity, he might destroy who holds the power of death. That is the devil. Boom, done. See that verse there? Once you make these two connections, you've understood salvation. You see, the body has a problem. The body allowed sin to enter into the world. And so now, when Jesus saves us, what does he do? He saves the spirit man. Right? We believe the message. The spirit man is saved. But then, he speaks about it in the terms of adoption. When he speaks about it in the terms of adoption, this does something Because what it does now, it allows us to understand why the body's redemption is later in the term of resurrection. So you combine Hebrews chapter number 2, 13 and 14. And you go to 1 John chapter number 7 and verse 8 into 9. You start to understand. Oh, the revealing of the Son to destroy the works was coming in the body. Then Hebrews then says what? It is this shared humanity. He comes to share in their humanity so that by their death in the body, he might destroy him. And then he says, and free those who all their lives were held in slavery by the fear of death. We couldn't escape it. When he entered the body, he did something. You see, if you understood these two verses, you'll understand why we have these two natures. Why the two natures are so important to understand. You'll see why the two natures are so important. This verse here messes people up because they don't make the connection. He's talking about children of God here. Notice, a lot of people take this verse to say, oh, the one who practices righteousness is righteous, and then the one who practices evil is of the devil. So if you do any sin, they immediately say, devil, devil, devil. But then when they sin, no, it's just a mistake. You see, what they did not see was that, you see, you are dismissing the area by which the Messiah brought salvation to mankind. I'm preaching good. I'm preaching good. So when he says, he that is born of the, he that is anyone who is born of God refuses to sin. You see, he's not saying that a Christian can't sin. You are hearing wrong. He's talking about the spirit man. The spirit man is the one who's born of God. Your spirit man can't sin. I'm getting it out. That's why when false prophets come, they make your spirit the source of sin. They make your spirit the source. They say, yeah, you see, spiritual husband. What they attach all these silly doctrines and throw you everything that fits in the cup. They dirty your spirit man. They blame the spirit man. You are dead. Why? Because you see, now you have nothing to fall back onto. The verse told you, anyone who's born of God refuses. So now, as a person who's biblically literate, you now start thinking, how can he say that? Papa God, I am struggling. You see, you will need to go to John chapter number 1 if you are going to understand what he's saying here. Because John chapter number 1 uses this very same language. Okay? John chapter number 1 uses this language. He came to that which was his own. So he came to his own, but his own did not receive him, the Jews, right? So there's this association. Jesus came to make an association. Because remember, he entered through the body so that he can deal with this sin in the body and kill the work of the devil that has now corrupted the body. He too shared in their humanity, so that by his death he might destroy the power of death. Okay? So there's a reason why the body, there's a reason why he needs the body. The entry, when he entered into the body. Because remember, how does the verse start? Now, since the children have flesh, the people he's trying to redeem are in the body. In order for him to process this salvation thing, he needs to enter the body and deal with the root. He's not dealing with surface sin. He's dealing with the root. The problem is that the body has brought sin. So he enters into the body and lives a sinless life. When he lives a sinless life, what does it do? It destroys. Now one has done it, and that one comes from eternity. So now you see, when that's why the Bible uses the language from the foundation of the earth. You see, when it uses that language, it's saying there's no guilt you could put. The doctrine of the holiness movement is one of the most dangerous things. Why? Because it condemns you for either a sin you did tomorrow or yesterday or something like that. Because why? They don't understand. When it says he died from the foundation, it's saying there's nothing you can recall. Who are you? Who are you? So go back to John chapter number 1. We want this language, this idea of born of God. And you see in 1 John, when he brings this idea that anyone who's born of God refuses to practice sin. What does he mean by that? Okay, let's go to John chapter number 1. So he says, he came to his own. Remember, he's coming to his own to do what? To make an association. Do you associate the same way you agree Jesus is my savior? He came to make an association with them. And yet, all who did receive him, he gave them the power to be the sons of God. This is that born of God. Even to them who believe in his name. The believing was enough. That's why to the holiness movement and all these people, believing is not enough. You must have some type of an action. No, he says the believing was. And then he says, which were born not of blood, not of the will of man. Now this one, he is now claiming himself. He says, not of the will of man, but of God. That's what it means. And the word was made flesh and he became So now this is what it means to be born of God, is that this is now, he now claims you are his. So the idea of being born of God is that the spirit man has been redeemed. It's now his. That's why Corinthians gives us citizenship, and he says our citizenship is in heaven. Romans then says our spirit cries, Abba, Father. So I'm not distant. He's my Father. It gives you that relationship. It's not on probation. He's not still watching you to see if you are really in or not. It's a made up thing. That's why these devils who come out, they make you doubt. Maybe you are not. Maybe I'm not saved. Maybe I'm not in. What if, you see, devils. All of them are all devils. Oh, Joshua, brother Joshua, devils. All of them. Enigma, devils. Olerato, devils. And I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about the spirit from which they speak. You are foul. You are a foul spirit. You speak anti the salvation of those whom he has called according to his own name. How dare you? You know, when it comes to salvation, you know, it becomes personal. So you jump back to that verse, 1 John chapter number 3. He says, anyone of God, he says, anyone born of God refuses to sin. So being born of God, what does it mean? Go back there. Not of blood, not of the will of the flesh, nor of the will of man, but of God. He's talking about the birth of the spirit man. 2 Corinthians chapter number 5 says, whosoever is born of God is a new creature, and is all things have passed away and all things have become new. So that's the record of the one who does not sin. He's talking about. He's not talking about the body. You have to make a separation between these two things. Because the seed, look at this, the seed abide in him. Talking about the spirit man here. That spirit man, John chapter number 1 told you, the seed dwells in him. And Peter then would say that it is an incorruptible seed. So you can't corrupt that seed. Bazalani, this is the part of Christian talk pertaining salvation that people don't understand. Is the separation between the spirit man and the physical man after I'm born again. I have an audit to try and change that model of the physical man. That's why Paul says, I beat my body to obedience. Because he knows now I'm a different person. I'm instructed in my inner man. Can't just be anyhow. So I hope these two, the explanation of these verses has helped you understand. You must make a clear distinction between the spirit man and the physical man. The spirit man is the one who must instruct the physical man to live differently. He learns from the word and he grows, the spirit man. And then as he has grown, now he takes on that life. Doesn't get comfortable anyhow. But y'all tell me your thoughts down in the comment section, and I will see you on a later on video. I thought that was important to come back here and speak about. So when we start a new year, for those that were not clear, I hope this explains it. That verse, they use it wrongly. Because why? They do not understand what that entry of the Son of Man into the body meant. He came in the body to destroy this in the body. And he made that association. He says he shared their shared humanity. If you read those verses, you will see. Jesus dealt with it. He's not trying to deal with it. He has dealt with it. That's why when he said in the cross, Tetelestai, it is finished, he meant that. What was finished? The destroying of the hold of this death. This verse is one of the most powerful verses. Because why? The children are in the flesh. He deals with it there. You sit down and think that. You'll understand why losing salvation is a very weird teaching. It's a very strange teaching. It's the most diabolical of teachings that a Christian is taught nowadays. Joshua teaches it, Enigma teaches it, you just wear a wig, you are dead. It's demonic. They are teaching demonic teaching. Don't listen. Now I'm not confused. I can go to any verse and explain it. The question is, where do you stand?